Hello, good morning. Hello, students and other friends and persons of my relations as well as of others. Today, I am going to disclose a very important matter of the day. Students are very much absent minded nowadays and they are lagging behind from studies. And a question arises in our mind, what is the reason behind all this? So, I'm a teacher of a school, and previously I was also working as teacher in other schools of Nadia district. And at present, when I face students in class, I see that maximum days they are not attentive. They do not respond to teachers. In spite of that, they make themselves busy in their own affairs. Sometimes when I become serious in class, I see that students of back benches have opened their mobiles and they are engaged in that tools. And repeatedly we have asked them not to do so, but who cares of this notice? It is very bad. And sometimes when I have asked some students about their indifference in studies, they say that what will be the result of studying in future, because they have elder brothers and sisters, as they have completed their college education, university education, and their father and mother had spent a lot of money by way of borrowing or by way of incoming hard. But what is the result? They are unemployed and they are suffering from frustration. Anyway, the society where we live in, it is also a matter to us, because in society we are seeing that bad culture, that means culture which is not supporting education, is increasing day by day. Our society is losing healthy atmosphere for education. We see in our society there are different aspects of recreation, and which is surely harmful for students and in their studies. Sometimes we see that some students are engaged in lottery game. Sometimes they are engaged in addiction, drug addiction. Sometimes we see that they are smoking here and there, and sometimes we see they are gossiping with girls, and though they are teenagers, but they do not think of their future, that what will be in future if they do so repeatedly. Anyway, students in classes and in school also are engaged in some unexpected affairs. I want to mean that they are engaged in quarreling with each other. They are engaged in stealing money from their friends' bags. They are also engaged in enjoying bad films from mobiles and so on. Besides, the syllabus which is existing now, and time to time which is under change, we see that it affects students' minds. When in some years ago, when English was not allowed in class, in primary classes, and also in class 5 and upper classes also, then we had the experience that students become weak in English, and we see that the effect of becoming weak in English has a reflection in their future life. They become weak to appear, to face competitive examinations, which are very important for having services nowadays. And we see that the excessive load of books, which are an obstacle on the way of education, and it is carried by them on their backs. And besides these books, pages after pages, pages after pages, is they have to read it, and when question, and they see in question papers in examinations, they see that maximum questions have broken the pattern on which are seen in the exercises of some books. And we see that it is also a problem on their part. Anyway, many schools where we have visited from time to time, we see that there is very little space. There is no place of playing games. Students are engaged in first period to last period, or and sometimes they enjoy their hours within the class in tiffin period, or some students when they take part in midday meal. But beside this, there is no spaces for playing games, which is a mental recreation on their part, and day by day it creates a problem on their part. In many schools we have experienced this, and if there was a place for playing games, it would be better for their mental recreation. It is also a reason and for their mental problem in studies. Anyway, the tendency of present government and in employment, and that is the government of different states and even the central government is trying to create corporate sectors, and is trying to omit government employments day by day, and the corporate sectors will engage employees who are very much brilliant and who have capacities, but normally there are many students who have less merits. Where will they go? So if they want to get themselves involved in business, they will have they will need a maximum capital for their business. But what is the problem in this matter is that at a maximum students come from poor families or lower middle class families, and how will they collect capital? So if they go outside our country, and that means in foreign countries for having jobs, at present we see that in foreign countries is the workers are not safe. They are being harassed, or sometimes they are killed in different places of the world, and our government cannot do anything for that matter. So various problems are before the students, but we are teachers and we must try, and trying also to remove problems before them. And our government and is also very much humanitarian, and in this matter they are creating many projects for the students so that they may get benefit out of these projects. And day by day, the government, especially our state government, that is West Bengal government, and namely we can mention the name of our Chief Minister, Mrs. Mamata Banerjee, who is very much humanitarian for the students, and she has created Shabu Sathi, she has created Shikhasri, she has created Rupasri, she has created so many programs, so many projects, Jubosri, etc. And she is very much kind to allow the scholarships for them, for meritorious students as well as for the students who are not meritorious but belong to different classes, that is we can say scheduled caste and backward classes especially. She's very much kind and to them, and students are really benefited. But to conclude this topic, we must say that nowadays it is a day of crisis. If we judge it globally, then we will see in different countries of the world, unemployment problem is the main issue, because the scope of working in government sectors is decreasing day by day, and private sectors are being created, and there minimum workers are needed, because it is an age of technology, and by dint of using many technologies, manpower is not needed so much. So unemployment problem will remain, and it will be increased day by day. And within such crisis, we have to create different aspects for the students, so that they can be self-help, and they can establish themselves from their own part, by dint of government help, government loans, government scholarships, and so on. And besides, there are many sectors also where they can serve humanity, and that means they can become doctors, they can become engineers, they can become lawyers, and here they can serve people, and by that way they can also earn money for their livelihood. Anyway, I am going to close the topic today, but I will expect that students must be serious about their future, and government of different states and even central government and must be careful regarding this, and they will stand beside them, and so that their studies may be continued, and their dreams may be fulfilled in their lives. And in this respect, I pray to God to give them good wit, and so that they can proceed to the way of goal. And after this, I am closing today. Thanks everybody. Thanks.